Hey everyone, welcome to This Explainer. We're jumping straight into something today that is honestly deeply universal, but almost nobody actually talks about it honestly. We're getting into the dark side of self-improvement. Look, if you're tuning in, I know you felt that incredibly heavy frustration of trying and failing to build better habits. You know the feeling, right? You want the focus, the dedication, that absolute fire you see in other people. But actually getting there just feels impossible. Well, today we're going to break down exactly why that is, and more importantly, how you can actually push through it. So tell me, does your life ever feel like it's just stuck in a loop? Because for so many of us, it feels exactly like that. Just think about the sheer pain of waking up with the absolute best intentions, trying your absolute hardest to improve throughout the day, getting completely exhausted, and then bam, you fall right back into the exact same dirt, the exact same bad habits that you swore you were going to escape just the night before. It is a vicious, completely demoralizing cycle. And honestly, it makes you start to wonder if you're ever going to be strong enough to break out of it. Okay, let's dive into this because we are basically being sold a massive myth. Think about the whole Instagram version of self-improvement we see every day. It's like a cinematic movie montage. Smooth gym routines, perfectly lit reading nooks, effortless meditation. It makes you think improving yourself just means looking cool and getting instant praise. But the reality? Real self-improvement is waking up at 2 a.m. in tears, making a desperate promise to yourself that enough is enough, only to wake up and literally repeat the same mistake the next morning. It is ugly, it is lonely, and it is entirely unglamorous. We kind of need to completely redefine what we're actually doing here. Self-improvement is not about fixing your life just so you can feel proud looking in the mirror while everyone applauds you. No way. It is a brutal, daily war against your old version. It happens in an isolated room. It happens when all your friends are out partying and having fun, and you're just sitting there alone, fighting your own mind, trying to finish just one small task when you have absolutely zero motivation. No one's appreciating you. No one is cheering you on. To truly transform, you have to survive what is essentially a hero's crucible. We're going to walk through the 3 literal phases of this journey today. Step 1, the darkness of acceptance. Step 2, the pain of killing old habits. And Step 3, boredom and the ultimate test of consistency. All right, let's start with phase 1, embracing darkness. And this brilliantly illustrates our first major point. Most people think hitting rock bottom means they've completely failed, but the reality is it's actually the mandatory starting line. Think about it. When everything in life is fine and comfortable, what do? We rest, we get complacent. But when we hit the bottom, when we experience those sleepless nights, the anxiety, the intense fear that we might literally remain stuck in this miserable loop forever, we finally feel the sting. Exhaustion and fear aren't signs that you're broken. They're actually signs of a necessary breakdown. It's from that sharp, undeniable sting that your real growth finally begins. So what do you actually do in the dark? Well, the first real step is radical acceptance. You have to look around and fully accept that you are exactly where you shouldn't be. Now, I know this is incredibly painful to admit, but here is the secret. This dark phase, it's not against you. It is against your old way of thinking. Accepting this harsh reality is the true beginning of your journey.
Which brings us to phase 2, enduring pain.
I'm going to be super direct with you here. Genuine improvement requires destruction, period. You can't build a fresh new house without tearing down the rotting wood of the old one first. Every single step forward in self-improvement requires killing a piece of your old identity. You want discipline? The very first thing you have to murder is your comfort. There's no negotiation here. You are literally letting the old weak version of yourself die so the new version can take its place. And you know what? Death is painful. There is a massive divide between comfort and growth. Comfort is easy, it's familiar, but it absolutely keeps you stuck exactly where you are. Pain, on the other hand, is the cost of entry. If you hit the gym, there's going to be physical pain and soreness. You'll literally ask yourself why you're even doing this. If you decide to quit toxic habits, like watching pornography or eating junk food, your brain is going to torture you. It will send these intense, agonizing urges, begging for a hit of dopamine. Resisting that deep mental agony, that is the real victory. That pain is a core, unavoidable part of the improvement process. People who are afraid of this pain, they never change. But you need to realize something huge here. The breaking point is actually proof you are on the right path. When you're in the gym or staring at your computer screen and you feel like you absolutely cannot take it for one more second, that breaking point is the exact intersection where 99% of people give up. But if you just stay there and endure it, that is exactly where the growth happens. Let's move to and see how this builds into phase 3, mastering boredom. So you've survived the darkness and the pain. Great. But what happens when the hype completely fades? Almost everyone falls into what we call the excitement trap. You buy a fresh new planner, you set up this flawless gym routine, you order a giant stack of new books, and you feel absolutely invincible. For about 3 days. Let's be real here. After a few weeks, that temporary energy burst vanishes entirely. Waking up early isn't exciting anymore. Going to the gym isn't a fun novelty. It's just work. The statistical reality of that trap is just brutal. 90% of people quit right at this point. Why? Because they were basically just chasing the high of excitement. They wanted to feel motivated every single day. But the 10% who actually succeed, they don't rely on excitement at all. They succeed because they master unglamorous, relentless consistency. We have to shatter this illusion of constant motivation once and for all. Here is the master secret. Success is incredibly boring. True discipline is tedious. It is repetitive. It is doing the exact same thing, the exact same process, day in and day out, long after the initial thrill is completely gone. When you actually look at the daily routines of truly extraordinary people, as outlined in our source material, they are made up of shockingly mundane habits. Reading daily, consistent journaling, sitting down for hours of deep, focused work without ever checking a phone, taking early morning walks. None of this is thrilling. It all seems incredibly boring to the outside world, but these boring, repetitive actions, they are the actual solid building blocks of an extraordinary life. Which brings us to the ultimate truth, personal accountability.
I want you to let the gravity of this sink in for a second. No one is coming to save you. You are entirely on your own in this war.
It is so easy to point fingers, isn't it? You can blame your parents, your school, or society for your problems. But as long as you're blaming external factors, your improvement is nothing but an illusion. You are literally giving your power away. The reality is 100% personal accountability. You have to be the one to get up. You have to be the one to fight. The very moment you finally say, yes, I am fully responsible for my life, your transformation actually becomes real. So the crucial takeaway here is this entirely new framework for how you view your struggles. Stop chasing shiny, temporary things. Stop constantly looking for motivation. Instead, let pain be your teacher. Let boredom be the testing ground for your discipline. And let that initial darkness become the foundation of your warrior mindset. Real self-improvement is boring. It is painful and it is dark. But that is the exact path that leads you to where you actually want to be. Now, going through this grueling journey alone is super tough, but you don't have to navigate the daily logistics completely blind. As mentioned in the original source material we analyzed today, the creator provided a really great free PDF filled with actionable steps and daily routine tips to help simplify this whole process. You can actually find that resource through the Telegram link provided by the original creator in their description. It's an awesome tool to help structure the daily grind. Which brings us to our final question. Knowing the ugly, unglamorous, but ultimately liberating truth about self-improvement, will you fight your old version today? Not tomorrow, not next Monday. Right now. The war is waiting for you. It's time to get to work. Thank you so much for joining me